may give a new meaning to distinguished when I become a distinguished Toastmaster. That's all I have to say for now. I am not a born leader. Does that matter? Absolutely not. That's why you have leadership training. As a matter of fact, a lot of born leaders are actually terrible leaders. They can lead, but not in the proper way. I'm not one of those. I'm a great follower. But we all have to become leaders. Have you ever been in a situation where you've had a bad leader? When you're in a situation with a bad leader, that's when you see how important good leadership really is. Let's talk about politics. Not current politics. Current politics, we're not going there. However, let's go back about 40 years. We had a president from Plains, Georgia, Jimmy Carter. And in my opinion, he was not a great leader. You never quite knew where he was. And then our next president was Ronald Reagan. I've been to his library. I love Ronald Reagan. I just thought, you know what? I just can't vote for a Democrat anymore. And I've always voted for Republicans. I'm a Republican. So if you don't like my politics, you got to play Ronald Reagan. But he was an example of a really, really great leader. You knew what his vision was. You knew where he was going. He would corral people and make things happen. I'm not naturally like Ronald Reagan. I gave examples of the chart, the different tracks to become a DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster. That's the highest level you can get in Toastmasters. And there's a communications track and there's a leadership track. And the highest level of leadership is the Advanced Leader Silver. Okay? That's what I'm working on right now. What does it take to become an Advanced Leader Silver? Well, you have to already be a competent leader. A lot of us are working on that. Then the next level is bronze, and then this level is silver. There's actually no gold for this level, which is kind of confusing to me. You would think they'd be consistent, but they're not. So I was a district, I wasn't a district, I was a area director for a year. That's one of the things to do. Also, be a club. I sponsored Verizon Toastmasters for 6 months, so I did that. And the other one is the High Performance Leadership Program, which is what I'm going to talk about today. What are we going to do? This came up, actually Scott helped me come up with this idea, because our former district director, you guys were talking with Nancy, and she's like, Meetup just doesn't work for District 84. It works really well for us. It does not work for District 84. Let's make it work for District 84. Okay, let's make it work for District 84. So that is, thank you. So that is the overall theme. We're still coming up actually with a vision, a mission statement, and the core values, but basically, not getting into politics again, but we're going to make Meetup great again.
Oh no.
Oh no. I just couldn't resist, sorry. We do have a committee. When you do this project, you have to have a committee. Our committee is Ted Allman. He is a DTM, been around for a long, long time. And then our very own people, Jeremy Udell, our president, and Scotty Brown. In general, Meetup is not working for the district, and we want to make it work. Effective means it's got to attract new visitors and new members, and efficient means it needs to do it in a very cost-efficient way. If you haven't noticed, your dues are very low. Your dues are very low, so pay them today. So, therefore, we get by with very, very little money. And currently, the district has some district Meetup pages that they're paying for. – Here's kind of the flow of what we're doing. First of all, we're trying to figure out what is happening now. Well, we kind of know what's happening now. Nancy had said to Scott, it's not working right now. When I was an area director, I went to one of my clubs in Area 42, got to the meeting. It was supposed to be a great meeting. There were 3 people there, including me. It wasn't a great meeting. So obviously we didn't do any speeches. So we just kind of said, well, what's going on here? So I said to the president, do you have a meetup page? He's like, no, we don't have a meetup page. So when you're bored, what do? You take out your phone and you start searching for things. So I put in Toastmasters, Altamonte Springs, meetup. And guess what popped up? No, their meetup page that the president didn't know they had.
Oh.
And guess how many people were coming to it that week?
0.
0, because nobody even knew it was there. So currently there is each division has a meetup page with all of the clubs listed. But nobody knows about it. And if I'm looking for a club, for example, you were looking for a club, if you just looked it up and it said Division D Toastmasters, what would that mean to you? Absolutely nothing. And it doesn't mean, unless you're a Toastmasters, what division and area you're in doesn't mean anything. So that's what we know right now, it's not working. So we want to make it work. How are we going to do that? We're going to have a survey done, and Scott is helping with this. He's done the Survey Monkeys before. So the committee's going to get together, decide what questions to ask. We're in process. Hopefully we're going to make that happen this week or early next week. With the hurricane, well, you know, we had a hurricane, okay? Yeah, we did. But we have the basic survey ready to go. We're going to revise it a little bit, and it's going to go to all the presidents for sure, and hopefully we're going to get the emails for the vice presidents of public relations for each club. One thing that's got added, which I really like and I hadn't thought about before, is basically asking questions about what is your club culture. And our club culture is we want to grow, we know meetup is very valuable, so on and so forth, and we want to see what other people are doing and what their club culture is to help move them in the right direction and how meetup will help them in the most cost-efficient way. Once we get all that together, we have our powwow and things like that, then we're going to make recommendations to the trio. Don't you like it when people use terms and you have no idea what they're talking about, like Division D? The trio is the top 3 district officers. And since we're going to ask them for money to be reallocated from the divisions to some other more efficient way, we have to get their input and get their buy-in to it. Once they approve it, then we are going to do what has to be done. We have to educate people. Great plans without a way to educate and let people know is not going to go anywhere. So we're going to educate people and then get it implemented. That is the High Performance Leadership Project. It's not a perverse project at all. Not that that fit at all in this. Sure it did. Sure it did. And the plan and the hope, I'm not sure if it's really going to happen, is to have it done by November for our conference in St. Augustine. That is the plan. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. But if it happens next May, that's fine too, as long as it happens this year. And that is my High Performance Leadership Project.